Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1201. That's right, episode number 1201 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from Red Morton Park. This is day 34, I believe it's day 34 of the GNA Positivity Challenge. And today we're going to be talking about the GLM show tonight and anything else that's on your mind. Man, a little dog that weighs like 5 pounds is like really barking at me. Ah, man. Give me a second here. All right, there we go. Yeah. I'm out here a little bit later than I wanted to be. It's going to get dark any second. It's already starting to get there. There's just a little bit of light left, just enough for me to set things up. Oh, man. Oh, give me a second here, because that's what's going on. Well, maybe I'll just do this. Give me a second. I'm going to tuck in my wire here. It's been a great day so far today. It's about to get even greater. I think that's better. All right, there we go. So that thing doesn't rub against. Oh, that car just made a really, really weird turn. Oh, it's trying to make a 3-point turn, and the car was tailgating it. All right. Excuse me. Yeah, it's cold. It's 50 degrees. And still got to get out and get those walks in. Hang on, give me a second here. All right. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the GLM show happening tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Sorry to those of you on the East Coast. GLM and Don and I live out here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we're Pacific time, and GLM has some other things going on until that time, so we were going to originally do this show at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, but got pushed back to 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Don's going to be joining me at least for a little bit. I'm probably going to be on for at least an hour, hour and a half. But why so early? What are you talking about? The show's happening tonight. Are you talking about the GLM show, Carl's Jr.? 11 p.m. Did I say 11 a.m.? Maybe I'm used to saying that time for the podcast we release every Wednesday. 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Not a.m., it's p.m. You're not making any sense. Why am I up so early? This is 8 o'clock. Or actually, right now, it's just shortly after 5. It's about 5:15 or 5:20 p.m. So you're not really making any sense, Carl Jr. But anyway, it's all good. If any of your messages get any weirder, I'm just going to ignore them. But anyway, yeah, Don and I are going to be on GLM show tonight. And we have a lot to talk about. And GLM's platform is the best platform to just kind of let loose and just kind of say everything that needs to be said. It's not that I don't want to talk about those things here on our channels. Hey Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well. Great to see you here. But GLM's platform is a great platform because she's experienced a lot of the things that both Don and I have experienced in dealing with this one community where basically you have two people that, you know, massively harass and defame and attack people as their YouTube content. Now, I'm not going to get into much details on stuff here on this show. We're going to go into more detail tonight. But there's basically, yeah, I forgot, Gordo. I forgot. I'll get to it. Sorry. I keep remembering when I see you. We've got people that are basically pulling up into a no parking zone where people walk to unload things. So we're gonna just come this way. It's cold, man. I feel it tonight. But anyway, there's basically there's a couple people that are still actively harassing people and defaming people online as their content, but there's one person in particular that, in my opinion, has gone off the rails completely. And here's the thing. It's like you can take legal action on this type of person, which I have taken some forms of legal action currently and in the past. And instead of de-escalating, this particular person continues to escalate and escalate and escalate and escalate. And yeah, it's just at this point it's just something that is surreal. It's absolutely surreal. But I'm going to share more about that tonight because this particular person, GLM, has been dealing with them as well. And you're going to have to tune into the GLM show and find out more. The link to the GLM show, or I shared the live stream event on the community wall here on GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Go to the community tab here, and you'll see the link to the show. Man, it feels really cold. It feels like mid-40s right now. I got the gloves on. But anyway, yeah, I want to get as many people over there as possible. There's probably going to be a lot of trolling and stuff. Don and I, we're just making it very clear. We're not going to be We're not going to be watching the chat, and we're not going to be even moderating the chat, even though we're both mods on GLM's channel. We're going to leave that to GLM and other moderators to do so. That's at 8 p.m. Pacific, right? 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, so it's 10 o'clock your time. Do you think you're going to be there, Tia? If you can't make it, I understand. Don't worry about it. I know you've got a lot of stuff that you're dealing with right now, and so, you know, whatever works for you, you know. But yeah, I'm just telling you, this is going to be a good show, and we're not going to attack anyone, and we're not going to. At least, listen. I can't speak for GLM, and I really can't even speak for my lady. But I will tell you, my lady and I are going to be respectful, professional, and mature. I'm getting a bit disappointed. I've shown good faith by returning and being courteous and being myself. Okay. Well, I mean, is your behavior remaining that way dependent on me remembering to unblock you, even though you have another channel you can chat on here? It's all good, man. I'll eventually get to it. I just keep forgetting. I've had a lot to do. I've got a lot of stuff that I'm dealing with right now, and I think you know a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with, and it takes over. And you can even ask ODN and other people. There have been times people have asked me to unban certain people or certain accounts, and it's taken me a while to do it, not because I'm intentionally not doing it. I keep forgetting. All right. Well, so anyway, yeah, I can't speak for GLM, but my lady Dawn and I are going to really share our thoughts tonight in a respectful way. And we really hope that as many people as possible can show up to, first of all, support GLM. For her show, and we are very grateful and thankful at the same time. All right. We are very grateful and thankful at the same time for her hosting us. It's been I will say this, and I'll share a bit more tonight. I mean, there are some things that I'm not going to share. I'll share what I can share, and Dawn will share what she can share, right? But there have been some very interesting things that have transpired over the last several days. And the interesting aspect of it is that they're not being talked about like they typically would by certain creators in this community of drama people that have been harassing me and defaming me for years. And so that's a bit telling to me initially, and you know, to be honest with you folks, I really wish the one or two people that are trying to continue this smear campaign of myself and my lady, Dawn, right, would really just burn out and just go away, right? But this one person that apparently has a constant, relentless daily need for attention this person does whatever they can to try to get that attention. I've had a bit of a bad day being dragged into something that's nothing to do with me, not who you're thinking. Oh, I'm not thinking anything unless you tell me, but I get what you're saying. At least you understand the context of where I'm going with this, Gordo, and I'll take care of you, man. Listen, I'm deeply sorry. Okay, I am. I've just there's just so much going on, and I'm trying to keep everything together, and in the end, I will make things up to everyone down the road. But I've got to get your other channel unblocked. I understand, and I apologize to you again. I just don't know what else to do. That's me. It's just my brain is elsewhere. The last thing on my mind is YouTube maintenance right now. I have so many other things that are such a much higher priority. And again, I'm not trying to downplay your situation. Everything's important. It's just I've got so much going on. So anyway, but yeah, it's Friday. The weekend is here, and I've got to tell you, folks. I've got to tell you. Like I was starting to talk about a few days ago, for the first time in like over 8 years, I'm really starting to see and feel a shift on YouTube when it comes to what I've been dealing with for the last 6+ years. Maybe even a little longer than that, 7 to 8 years. More so 7 to 8 years, but with the one particular person that I'm suing in court, the aspects that got him sued started happening about 6 years ago, maybe six and a half years ago. Now, again, when it comes to defamation, only the last 2 years are actionable, but that doesn't mean you can't use past situations beyond the statute to show a pattern of behavior, right? A pattern of harassment, a pattern of defamation, right? You can certainly, submit into evidence anything beyond the statute of limitations to show a pattern, as long as that pattern has escalated into the current 2-year statute of limitations, which it has. And not only has it, escalated into the 2-year statute of limitations, it's gone off the charts. It's gotten worse. Excuse me. Basically, I called them out on their BS, and they threw a hissy fit because I was staying out of the drama. I was avoiding them. Well, here's the thing, Gordo, and you did the right thing, and you know exactly what's going on. You have a few people, the main creators in that drama group, and especially the one that you used to associate with, the female one, right? And they basically have made YouTube become pretty close to 100% of their identity, right? They don't like what I had to say. Of course they don't like what you had to say, because it goes against their narrative of hating me, Let's just be real about it, because the narrative is, let's continue to smear Eli. Let's continue to harass and smear Eli. And when we can't get to Eli, we'll smear his girlfriend and his girlfriend's family to try to get to Eli, which that doesn't work anymore. It really never worked in the first place, but we did react in the past. We're not reacting anymore. We're handling these things legally and in other ways, right? And you see, when these people have been getting away with what they've been doing for years, and they've made a good amount of money doing it, plus it's also validated them that they're important when, they're really not. And here's the thing, they should be happy within themselves. It shouldn't have to take them creating false, fake narratives on people like me and continue to paint me as a villain to their audience that just wants hateful content on me. So these creators, including the one that you were a part of, they have to continue to give that audience what they want, or that audience stops giving the creator or creators what they want, right? Which is donations, and also, loyalty, a friendship, whatever. But what kind of a friendship? Somebody's coming this way, so I'm going to come over here. What kind of a friendship involves people wanting you to attack another innocent creator? That's no harm. Of no harm. Well, what kind of creator would want to be friends with people that do what's called hate bonding? All it is hate bonding, right? These people are hate bonding, and when that person they're hate bonding over isn't reacting to them like he used to, and isn't like I'm not reacting, and I'm not giving these people what they used to get, or I didn't even realize what I was giving them, but they're not getting what they used to get from me. So at the same time, their audience is not getting from them what they want, right? And because they lived off of that high for so long, and it gave them a false sense of purpose and validation, now that they're losing that because of the actions I've taken legally and otherwise to protect myself and my girlfriend and everyone else that I care for, they amp it up. They double down, they triple down, they quadruple down. And the more they double, triple, and quadruple down, the more in trouble they get with the law, one way or another. And we're going to talk more about that tonight on the GLM show. Just 2 laps tonight. The first lap is almost over. I got to tell you, it feels really cold tonight. But Gordo, they didn't like what I had to say. Yeah, I already got that. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, and your opinion was probably much smarter than what they were trying to get you to do, if anything, right? Because all they want you to do is to continue to feed into the narrative of myself or anyone else that they want you to not support or not watch their shows or anything like that, right? All right, I really got to go. There was a mother and her daughter waiting to cross, and there were no cars coming. And I was waiting for them to cross, and I'm like, I got to get going. I can't keep waiting. And then they just finally took off. It's nothing to do with those people. This is a separate issue, unrelated. Sure. Okay. No, I get it. Gordo. But it's probably a similar concept, right? Is it involving other people on YouTube just trying to stir up the drama pot and create fake instigated drama or fake outrage? Because the outrage cycle is what gets people to drop everything and tune in, right? It's all about the outrage, right? You know, the outrage on social media is destroying us in more ways than one. Not just what's going on here within these small drama groups, but also, you know, our government's the same way. A lot of people like Dan Bondino and Kash Patel in the FBI. These guys were podcasters. And these guys were talking about the deep state, and they were talking about all this messed up stuff. And now they're in a position in one of the most prestigious federal agencies on the planet, not just here in the US. The FBI is world renowned. They're just known for how important they are, right? Even globally, not just here in the US. And these guys that act like little kids are running the FBI. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, wow, right? So yeah, you know, it's all about the outrage. It's all about, you know, the fake instigated drama, you know. It's all about the slandering, the defamation for dollars. That's what it boils down to. Then today they are saying that I was the coward. No, they're the coward. They're projecting. Tia says, it is because you have changed in a positive way and they are unaccepting, Gordo. Just a thought. Yeah. Well, you know, everybody wants to get to a better, more positive state or place, Tia. You're right. But until those people are ready, if you were once a part of them, and then you've left their drama sphere to move on to positivity, they don't want to let you go because you're central to their ecosystem, not just for content, but also emotionally. You're central to their ecosystem, right? It's like these people, when they grab a hold of someone or someone joins them, you know, they cling on really tight. They're very, very needy and they're very, very pushy, right? And they suffocate you to the point of where you just want to get away, right? And then you try to get away or you go away and then they react because they were so dependent and they're still so dependent on you being there for them emotionally, maybe financially, and otherwise, right? Again, a lot of these creators have put their identity as what they do on YouTube, right? It's really sad. It's not healthy. It's very, very sad, and it's absolutely not healthy. And again, to remind you folks, tonight we're going to be talking more about it on the GLM show at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. I shared the stream upcoming right here on the community wall of this channel, GNA2 Genuine Live Personal Development. Gordo says, thing is, I even spoke to his father, directly explained the situation, so hardly the coward. Right, right. Well, on social media, Gordo, the person that actually does the right thing, which is not cowardly, you're not a coward, but the person that does the right thing, which is not cowardly, these people flip it and call you a coward because there's nothing else they can say, right? They're upset that you've walked away, or they're upset that you are the cool, calm, and collected one, the reasonable one, the one that makes sense, and they don't make any sense at all. And then they want to try to suck you back in to their shit, their world of shit, right? Because they're so miserable that they need to keep dragging other people into their misery to feel like they're worthy, right? To feel like they have some kind of purpose. And the truth of the matter is, what they need to do is dissolve any of these hateful drama groups and dissolve all those friendships and start to focus on hanging around with other more positive people, right? Other more spiritual, influential, type of people, right? People that have a good attitude and they're down to earth and they're reasonable. And they're not looking to spin every little thing out of context just for a piece of content and a few bucks on YouTube, right? I just pointed out the truth to him. I'm guessing the truth hurts. Absolutely. You knew that. And whoever this man is, they know it too. That's why they're reacting. The truth does hurt. But the truth at the same time, Gordo, will set you free. Will set you free. Sorry. The truth shall set you free, right? There's nothing more, how to say this the right way? There's nothing more relieving than the truth, because the truth will set you free. Nothing more relieving than the truth, because the truth shall set you free. It'll allow you to exhale and breathe. It'll allow you to accept responsibility for whatever you just admitted truthfully, right? But see, nowadays, a lot of these people on the internet, they've built their empire, they've built their entire income off of instability and YouTube drama and outrage, fake instigated outrage, right? They built their entire financial ecosystem off of this. So even if they try to pivot, they're out of business. They got nothing left. None of the people that are following them now are going to follow them to positivity. They're not. So it further cements into these creators' heads that even if I want to be positive right now, me being positive puts me out of business. So even if I truly am a positive person, I now have to pretend to be negative to keep my audience around and keep the money coming in. And that's where it gets. That's just where it gets a little bit insane. And it's like, this is the kind of stuff I've been talking about for years. And initially, no one would really listen, right? But ironically, people are starting to listen more now. Maybe that's because I've finally taken action to stand up for myself with my circuit civil case for defamation, malicious prosecution, abuse of process, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Because here's the thing, until I took that action, I was going to be trapped and stuck in a position and situation that was never going to change, no matter what I did. Sometimes the only option you have is going to court, especially with the way internet laws are today. I keep talking about it. Go watch our latest podcast episode, that Don and I did last week, episode number 37 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. Stop defaming for dollars or get sued. Stop defaming for dollars or get sued, especially here in the U.S. where all the platforms, the social media platforms, are protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. They won't even take any defamation takedown requests. In pretty much every other country, they will. You select the U.S. on the defamation form of the YouTube help pages on Google, and it says you need to resolve this with the other person, use our harassment tools, or file a lawsuit. The only real option you have here in the U.S., if someone's slandering you online, on YouTube, for example, is you got to take them to civil court, a full-blown civil case, not a small claims case. Small claims can't handle defamation. Small claims cases cannot provide protective orders. Small claims cases can only provide you money if whatever you're suing for costs you money up to the maximum amount. Here in California, the maximum amount for small claims is $12,500. It's similar in other states. I think it's like $10,000 in other states. But here it's $12,500. And here's the thing. When you're suing for defamation, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the protection. You do it for injunctive relief. You do it because you want the behavior that's harming your reputation to the point of where it's affecting you from growing online, or it's affecting you from growing online and offline, because people in the real world, they see what's happening online, right? So this isn't just for protection for online, it's protection for online and offline. Tia says, Eli will be joining me tonight. Yeah, I've been talking about how you doing, GLM? And GLM, Don and I, we're already saying we are going to be talking tonight about your favorite friend, per se. We know this person's not your friend. We've got a lot of updates, and I've been holding off to come onto your show and share that because there's a lot of stuff going on that I haven't talked about publicly. I'll talk about some of it tonight. Whoa, go ahead. You didn't see me. That car did not see me. They weren't paying attention. Had I not backed off, they would have smacked right into me. That's why I pay attention. So this is why I pay attention, because you see cars coming, especially when they come fast in a parking lot, and you have to assume they're not going to stop. That's why I saw them, and when they weren't stopping, I just put on the brakes and let them, and they went by, and they stopped, and I looked at them. They opened their window. I said, "You didn't see me. They didn't say anything. They know they're wrong." Anyway, I'm still here in one piece. That's good. That'd be really strange to get hit by a car in a parking lot while live on YouTube. I guess the evidence would be there. You'd have undeniable evidence, at least. It's nothing funny, man. You don't want to get hit. I don't blame you, Gordo. Hey girl, can't wait for tonight, says Dawn. Gordo, I'm old school. I do things differently. Well, that's my rant over, says Gordo. GLM says, Tia. Me too, Don, says GLM. GLM, why did you name your YouTube handle unsub from GLM? Are you just trying to be funny? Because you really don't want people unsubbing from you, so you put in the opposite of what you want them to do as a funny. It's all good. Yeah, we look forward to the show tonight. Only 2 laps tonight, folks. It's going to be just about a 60-minute show. I'm going to run out and grab some food for Dawn and I tonight because we're going to sit down for an hour before we go on the GLM show. And yeah, no, Dawn's actually very excited for this. And I told Dawn, I said, look, whatever you want to say, babe, you say whatever you want to say. You know, I'm not going to hold you back. But you know what the great thing is that Dawn and I have gotten to a point of where we realize how desperate these people that have been talking about us are desperate for content. They're so desperate for our reaction, right? They're so desperate to keep the facade going, right? Now we see what they're doing, and they keep escalating, which is what I'm trying to say. And we're not saying that we justify their behavior. We don't. But we just look at I look at Dawn, she looks at me, and we're like, just really sad that they had to keep going that low and that they're so obsessed with you and I, babe. Like, the obsession is so real. And again, it's 2 people. One that I'm in court with that's trying to back off right now because he's the named defendant, and then there's another person that he acts in concert with that has amplified the attacks on me, the defamation on me. They've amplified the defamation of the defendant, right? And it's really, really obvious to Dawn and I and other people like you, GLM, and others where that person's head is at. That person's head is not in the right place. That behavior, I've got some people coming, so I'm going to wait for them to pass on by. The behavior of that person acting in concert with the defendant is absolutely not normal, in my opinion. It's just not normal. I've never come across anyone in my life that is so obsessive in a very creepy, stalkerish kind of way, right? Like, this is like creepy stalker obsessiveness, right? Or an obsession that's like a creepy stalker. That's what it feels like, right? Now, I know what it actually is. It's all for content, and it's all for trying to maintain even the shred of relevancy that this person may think they have. But the more and more they continue to go down this path with myself and my girlfriend Dawn, the more they're just destroying themselves. And I'll go into more detail in the GLM show tonight. We have a lot to talk about tonight, GLM. It's going to be a very interesting show. Do you plan on leaving up the show, GLM, at least for a little while? At least for a day, so I can download a copy of it. I like to download copies of shows I'm a guest on. Same with my lady. I think the last show that I was on with you and Flex, I think that was put to private or removed. Anyway, it is what it is. I second that thought. More specific. Sorry, Tia. What thought did you second? I went on a little rant there, or a little. I went on a roll. So let me know so I can go into more detail if necessary. I'm actually finally starting to warm up after my second lap is almost done. It's definitely going to be gloves every day for a while now. You have never seen people so obsessed. Yeah, no, that's absolutely 1,000,000% correct. Absolutely, Tia, and thank you for reminding me. Yeah, and even the person that I've sued as the plaintiff, I'm the plaintiff, he's a defendant in a circuit civil case for defamation. Yes, he has toned it down quite a bit because he's had to. But whenever he's in legal trouble, he'll dish it off to affiliates like this woman, and she's basically filled in the gap. Because here's the thing, the guy that I'm suing used to behave exactly like this woman. But right now, because he's a listed defendant and the other woman is a non-party, the one that's helping him act in concert, like, she's not a named party, so, like, there's not really much I can do besides, try to get a protective order that will include people that are third parties, known third parties of the defendant, and people acting in concert will not be allowed to do what they're doing now. That's all I can do. Besides that, I cannot get a separate protective order on her. Now, depending on the language that the judge would decide, third party or acting in concert protective order would hold her and other people in that group accountable. But, I can't go after them for sanctions or punitive damages or anything. They would have to become a party of the case, or I would have to sue them separately, right? Hey, Luke, how you doing? Hey, Eli and everyone. Hi, Eli and everyone. Happy holidays. I am busy, but I will definitely try and catch you all later on. Thanks, man. Angels Asylum, how you doing? Happy holidays to you. Hey, everyone. Says Angels Asylum. How you been, Angel? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Yeah, only 2 laps tonight. And we're gonna do a hard stop right around at the 1 hour mark. I want to thank everyone for choosing to tune in to us tonight here at the GNA. We're here to be your friend. We're here to hear your stories and align your stories with ours. And if we can help you work through something, we'd be happy to do that, because we know the importance of support, especially emotional support, and it's really hard to find kind, caring, and considerate people nowadays, especially on the internet, especially on YouTube, that truly care about your well-being. So I truly care about your well-being and have your best interest in their heads and hearts and souls. And that's how we are here. Is it unusual in this day and age of outrageous content makes the money and everything else doesn't make shit? It is. It's a little bit different compared to what people are used to, right? But we want to make that shift, and we want to help you make that shift. We want to help you turn things around and understand that you don't have to be a part of feeding the outrage cycle. You don't have to be a part of monetizing the outrage cycle. It's your choice. And just know, if you do feed the outrage cycle with your click, that only amplifies the outrageous content even more. If you donate to the outrageous content creators, that just fuels them to do more of the outrageous content. The only thing you can do if you want to change is withdraw, remove yourself. And a lot of times it's easier said than done, because these people suck you in. They suck you in by saying things to you that are not nice, that are not true. They do it on purpose because they want the reaction so they can use you as their outrageous content tool, right? You have to learn to figure that out and understand it, and then just don't give it to them, right? And that's what I've done, because people used to monetize me for just standing up for myself against their lies. And then I realized they're lying on purpose because they need the fake outrage to keep their audience coming back and donating, right? Once you figure that out, you know how to cut the spigot off, right? And then when you figure out how to cut the spigot off and you start to do it, these people start to amplify even more. They start to get more and more desperate. They double down, they triple down. They double down, they triple down, they quadruple down, because they want to reach that high they once reached based off of what you provided for them, the reactions that made them lots of money to their audience, right? You figure it out, you cut off the spigot, they keep trying harder to hit the same high they're going to never hit again. Eventually, they're just going to fall apart. And see, that's the stage I'm at right now. I'm watching these people fall apart in real time. And it's just, no matter what they say, I'm seeing them fall apart in real time. And look, I care about everyone's best interest, but the bottom line is, when you have harmful people, they need love, and they need to learn too, but the only way they're going to learn is by falling hard first. All right? That's the only way that you're going to learn, is by falling hard first. Anyway, get your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. Babe, start getting your quote of the day, because I'm going to be going off the air. There she goes. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Don says, greed doesn't just corrupt, it rewrites a person until even their shadow recoils. Have a good weekend, everyone. Greed doesn't just corrupt, it rewrites a person until their shadow recoils. Right. That's pretty profound. That's pretty deep. Good stuff, babe. Thank you for sharing that. Angels Asylum says, I'm great. Just got back from visiting family, aka vacation for 2 weeks. Luke says, hey, Don, I will try and come back to YouTube after I look up over here and show some support. Looking forward to catching up. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. You've been a good guy, and we appreciate that. You've been very consistent. All right, folks. We're leaving 26 in the box. TS says hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. Thank you. Good night, everyone. The GLM show. Go to the community walk here on GNA 2. It's the latest posting. 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We are looking at about an hour and 45 minutes from now. I believe it's about 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific. I'm going to grab some food for my lady and I. We're going to eat, and then GLM, we'll look for the link in the chat. Have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.